FM, HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by International Diamond Center, Domino's, Atlantic Roofing, Meldon Law, Los Linderos Tequila, Comfort Temp, Campus USA Credit Union, Pomodoro Cafe, Titan MRI and Imaging, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Miapa Latin Cafe, Radware, Fairlife Milk, Gator Trim Lights, Quality Plumbing, Doreen Weeby Realtor Caldwell Banker, and the Head Beer Coach.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
It is time to eat some lunch and talk some sports. Welcome into a Tuesday edition of Sports Scene as you listen on ESPN. Charlie is our producer today. I need you guys today to help me a little bit. I need a little therapy today. You know, yesterday I brought this up, and the more I chewed on it when I went home and thought about it, the more upset I became about the talent gap, about all the money that's being spent in athletics. But we'll continue that today. Also today, Chris Hayes, who's the coach at Jacksonville University baseball, will join us. Gators play them tonight. You can hear the game here at 6:25. Ron Slay, though, will begin our guest parade in about 10 minutes from the SEC Network to put a bow on the SEC season and look ahead to the Final Four. How about the women's Final Four? Anybody got any chalk? Chalk. And Kevin Brockway, my buddy from the Gainesville Sun, will talk hoops and some spring football coming up at the bottom of the 1 o'clock hour. Congrats to Ruben Chinyelu, named the National Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah. By the National Association of Basketball Coaches. Congratulations to him. He averaged 11.2 rebounds, which now ranks 4th in Division I. So congratulations to him. And since he's been here, the Gators are 63-12. How about that? 63-12 since Chinyelu's been here. However, fan favorite Ollie's taking the trolley. He gone. Intends to transfer. And look, for those who don't know, most coaches do this. I'm sure probably all of them do. There are meetings that are held after the season with players. And there's discussion about, you know, what the next year's role will be. And I'm guessing this. If he was told you're going to be doing what you did this year, which is basically coming in during garbage time, then he probably wants to go play and try. So, I mean, you can't blame him for that. So we'll see what happens with that, but sad to see that. Also, a couple of things. I don't know if this means anything or not, but if you look at college football, I think CBSSports.com reported this. Take a look at the number of big-time transfers the Big Ten and the SEC have lost versus what the other conferences have lost. It's pretty striking when you see it. there is a talent gap. There is no question. How about this? Of the 114 G6 players who earned first or second team all-conference honors last year and returned to college football in 2026, only 29% remain with the team they played for in 2025. 29%. Of the 81 who transferred, 73 of them ended up at Power 4. In comparison to that, 74% of Power 4 all-conference players who returned opted to stay with their previous team. So I'm not great at math, but if your best players are staying with teams and the best players from the group of 6, group of 5, whatever, are going to big-time schools, who's going to win that? Yeah. A group of 6 all-conference player is more than 2.5 times as likely to transfer as a Power 4 all-conference selection. That's crazy. So that's, where it is. And it's going to get worse. And that is why I'm, I get it. And look, come a Saturday, you're not going to care about those schools. But I'll tell you where I do care about it is in the NCAA tournament. Part of the charm, now the women's tournament has always sort of been chalky. There just isn't a lot of depth. It's better, but there isn't. I mean, look what happened this year, right? But in a lot of years, just look what Dusty May did with Florida Atlantic a couple years ago, right? Chicago, right? All that. That ain't happening anymore. It's gone. And so when you start making picks, I know I learned my lesson. I mean, I'll pick a few, but it'll be very rare when you see a Cinderella wear the slipper for a long time in the tournament because of the disparity that we have now. That's just how this is. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know, but I will tell you this is where we are heading. Also want to tell you, there was a survey letter put out, don't know if you saw this, to boosters, whatever, and they asked for input from boosters, ticket holders, etc. A fan survey. And it was prepared. And if you remember Scott Strickland being here, he said there was going to be every effort made to keep the capacity somewhere close to where it is, and also keep the amenities, being close to the field in terms of the reconstruction, all of that. Look, I don't know exactly where that is going to go, but they're getting feedback now, and we'll see what happens. But as they said in the letter, for example, maintaining the historic orange wing walls that frame the stadium, the closeness of the fans to the field. I mean, they're right on top of you, and that's always been, I think, a great thing. And They want to maintain existing capacity if they can, while making the technology changes, the enhancements that they're going to make. There's information out there that's being reported. And look, take it for what you want. I've been told some of it is inaccurate. And really, we are going to have to see. What we will see is what the cost is going to be to the fan, to the ticket holder. If you have a suite, is it going to cost you more? Do you have a ticket? Is it going to cost you more? Because these things, the enhancements are not cheap. But Florida Athletics is at least gauging, ticket holders, et cetera, to get their opinions, points of view, et cetera. And if you have a thought about that, I'd like to hear from you as well. All right, so that kind of sets the stage today. A lot of different things we'll talk about. Again, we come to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio. Pool enclosures, businesses to decks and landscape lighting, full color systems, fully programmable too, right from your phone. Imagine that. That's what they can do for you. Visit GatorTrimLight.com to find out more. Fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. The Cousins families run that business for nearly 50 years. The best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Tell them Sports Scene sent you when you go by. All of our callers on the phone, on the Titan MRI and imaging phone line. Best MRI you can get. Affordable prices. You can find out more at TitanMRI.com. And our emails, srussell@WRUF.com, courtesy of International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. First, we'll take a break, and then we hope to get my man Ron Slay from the SEC Network talk some hoops with you as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jalen Foote. Florida baseball finds their momentum following a 3-game sweep against 4th-ranked Arkansas. The Gators were able to finish off the weekend on a high note with pitcher Luke McNeil sealing the win on Sunday.
Neely ready, the pitch, slider, and he got him. Big strikeout for McNeil. He ends up striking out the side here in the 9th inning. And the Gators have strolled into Bob Walker this weekend and won all 3 baseball games.
Florida looks to continue the momentum as they take on Jacksonville University tonight. First pitch is at 6:30 p.m. at home. Moving to men's basketball, center Ruben Chinyulu has just been named the NABC's Defensive Player of the Year. Chinyulu has had an impressive year, averaging 11.2 rebounds per game and finished the year with 36 blocks. Ruben's defensive impact played a major part in Florida clinching a regular season SEC title.
Friends, if somebody's been in business for 45 plus years, doesn't that tell you something? Trust, longevity. Well, that is the case with my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville. The Cousins family has operated that business for the past 45 plus years, and they specialize in just one thing. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Great variety, great selection. I'm driving one now, have been for years. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
Nobody does catering like P.F. Chang's. Elevate your gathering with our buffet-style catering pans. Packed with bold flavors and generous portions of your favorite dishes, we make it easy to serve and even easier to enjoy. From chopsticks to dessert, everything's ready for pickup or delivered right to your door. Choose individual meals, customizable catering packages, or build your own perfect feast. P.F. Chang's Catering. Your feast perfected. Order now at pfchangs.com/catering.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their gamberi salento, shrimp, fresh tomatoes, and zucchini sauteed in garlic and oil with penne pasta and Romano cheese.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
No, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
In a world of big banks, there's only one truly local choice in Gainesville, Gala Bank. Locally owned and operated, Gala Bank is built by people who live here, work here, and care about this community. With over 350 years of combined banking experience, you'll always get trusted guidance and personal service you can count on. And with convenient 7 to 7 hours, Monday through Saturday, banking works around your schedule, not the other way around. Local bank, local people. Gala Bank. Member FDIC.
That's the buzzer. And on Hard Rock Bet, buzzer beaters mean bonus bets. Every time a team you bet to win or cover hits a game-winning buzzer beater, you score a $25 bonus bet, an extra $25 on top of your winnings. Just opt in and bet $5 on any team. As many teams as you want, all tourney. Win bonus bets at the buzzer, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
If it happens in Gator Nation, you hear it on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Welcome back to Sports Scene for this Tuesday. I'm Steve Russell. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join us and talk some sports. Let's go to our Meldon Law guest line. Meldon Law sponsors all of our guests on the show, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Won't back down. One of my favorite guests joins me here to talk some hoops. Ron Slay from the SEC Network. We're going to put a bow on the SEC season. Ron, welcome. Man, I got to ask you about your Vols. Nice, the last SEC team standing, man. You know that says something. But you know, you know how the social media world works, right? There's some people, probably a minority. You know, get Rick Barnes out of there. He can't get us past an Elite Eight, which is crazy to me. But your thoughts on all of that as a Tennessee alum?
Yeah, man, I think it's wild. I think it's wild to even have the conversation when you look across the country and in the atmosphere that we live in, with so many people being X'd out. It's hard to have retention. All of these things, and you guys see it down there in Florida, man. Like you understand what it means to be able to have somebody that you can lean on and having some concrete foundation. I think Rick Barnes does exactly that. There's not many people that can say they've been to 4 straight Sweet 16s and 3 Elite Eights. So I remember a couple of years ago, everybody was saying he can't get past the Sweet 16, and you got to get him out of here. You're selling for mediocrity, and then now the mediocrity turned from Sweet 16 to Elite Eight. So I mean, as long as he keeps climbing, so at some point he keeps reposting the bar, and everybody has started to figure it out, man. Like, you got a great coach right there, man, and does he have to do some tweaking? I think all coaches do, even the ones that win a national championship coming back the year after. So it's part of the game, man. I think they're fools for anybody that's saying that. And I think as soon as he was to walk away, it'll be plenty of people knocking at his door asking could they get one more year from him.
Yeah. As you look at the SEC season as a whole, Ron, was it a successful season?
Yeah, by the standards of where you're going to be. I think this is on average of where, if this is the floor, 10 teams in the March Madness tournament, then I think yes, no question about it. Would we have liked to see at least one team make it to the Final Four? Absolutely. But it also shows that, in that top 10, top 15 outside of Florida, there was nobody else kind of knocking on that door throughout the entire season. Everybody kind of peaked towards the end of the season. They tried to make runs, had a couple of injuries. So I think this was a successful season overall. Would you have liked more coming off of what you saw last year? Absolutely. But the teams that you were expecting to be able to kind of carry a torch were down. You thought Kentucky would be better. You thought Tennessee would be better throughout the year. You thought Vandy wouldn't go through their injuries, like and have guys walk away during the middle of the season. We expected Florida to be right there again. Arkansas had Carter Knox go down. So, yeah, outside of the injuries, I do think it was a successful year. Inside the conference, looking at it, yeah, you want more. And I think it goes with the mantra of the SEC. It just means more. So you got to get somebody there. So, yeah, I think overall, yes, it was a good season. Do you want more? Absolutely.
It fascinates me, again, because he coached here. North Carolina has not named a new coach. And Billy Donovan's name is out there, and, nobody's really denied it. Do you think Billy would come back to college basketball to coach there?
And I think that'll be a stretch, man. Could he get it done? Yes, because of the staff that he could put around him. But, man, I thought it started to get out of hand after, and that was part of the reason he was walking away. So it's even crazier now with him walking back in it. I do think you can lean on guys like a Rick Pitino and kind of figure out the landscape of it and figure out, is that what you want to do? He could definitely – I think Billy Donovan is a winner, and he knows how to relate to guys. The guys in the NBA are just as young as the guys in college nowadays, so I don't think that'll be a drastic change for him. It's just all of the things that you got to kind of you got to go through, the hoops you got to jump through, and the no barriers on this NIL stuff. But I don't think he would come back, man. I'm gonna be honest. That's a tough spot, man. It's so much that you don't have to put up with being in the league, that you do have to put up with in college, and having to recruit your guys year in and year out. You don't even have to do that in the NBA. So right. I think that's a totally different ball game for him, man.
Let me also ask you this, Ron. In your day, man, there were a lot of players. I'm going to the league. I'm going to the league. You heard that a lot. Players want to go to the league now. Well, now you don't quite hear that as much because of the money, right? Yeah. If you're a Chinyelu, if you're a Condon, and you might be a second-round guy, you're going to get money in college. Well, why should I go to the NBA if I'm going to get paid in college? Are we going to see more of that?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that was the whole reason that you heard during my day of people saying, man, I'm going to the league, because you knew you were going to be able to make some money that was going to be able to change your life and the people around your life if you were to do right by it. And you were going to develop and be able to play on that main stage with the lights, the brightest. You get that in college now. And you coming back, you look around the college landscape, you get a leg up, if you think about it, of Condon, even Houck, who I think, man, phenomenal year, All-American. I honestly don't believe that he could hurt himself by coming back. I think he could only help himself by coming back, man. So I would love it, selfishly, to see him, Houck, Condon, and Thielu to come back, man, and even the Handlock, if he was able to get a waiver to be able to play again for another year, I would love to see that. You see Boogie already back. Like, you're ahead of the curve. The transfer portal not even open, and just by retaining at least 6 or 7 guys, you're ahead of everybody, including the people that play for the national championship this year. So I would love to see it, and I think you will see more of that. Anybody that's on the fringe, late draft pick, especially these younger guys that maybe be 15 to 20, somewhere in there, think about coming back and, increasing their stock, because this class, specifically this draft, is a little different than I think next year's would be.
Interesting. Ron Slay joining us here from the SEC Network as we wrap up SEC Hoops for the year. Ron, there's two last things I want to ask. Really one.
Okay.
The tournament, half the fun of it was seeing a Cinderella, right? Seeing what Dusty May did a couple of years ago with FAU, Illinois, Chicago, Loyola Chicago, all that. Well, we didn't see that this year. And I don't think we're going to see much of that down the road. Do you?
No, I don't. Not unless something was to change. As far as guys being able to leave early, if they made guys stay 2 years or something of that nature, or if the transfer portal changed up, then I think you would see guys kind of settling in on a 2-year deal at a mid-major, and you start to see those veterans. That's the problem. The veterans would stay. You would see 3- and 4-year guys on these Cinderella teams, and instead of that, by their junior year or their senior year, or if they have a fifth, they're bouncing and going to one of the Power 4 schools. So that Cinderella is already gone. You see the veteran-led teams with guys, those teams become the Cinderellas, which is kind of crazy. The middle-of-the-pack Power 4 conference schools are the ones that have guys that are juniors and seniors that have stayed around. So, yeah, I think it's kind of done. It could get back if you had an opportunity to spread it around, but I don't see the Power 4 schools giving up any money to the mid-majors to say, hey, you know what, let's help out these leagues and see if some of these guys will stay. Let's have a $600,000 pot moved around for them. I think that would help, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
All right, I'm going to ask now, who do you like in the Final Four?
Man, honestly, I'm going with Arizona. I picked Arizona early in the year. Once we got to the tournament, I rolled with Florida. With Florida being out, I think Arizona is the most complete team. I do like Michigan. I think Michigan is really good, but I just do not, even though they played phenomenal against us, I don't trust their guards matched up against Arizona's guards. UConn got the vets, but I just Silas Demery and those guys compared to Jaden Bradley and Burries and Korchenkov, I like them. I like what Tommy Lewis got going.
Ron, I really appreciate you coming on during the year, man. I wish we had more hoops to talk about, but
man,
next year rolls around, we'll get you back. I appreciate your time, dude. Thanks a lot.
No doubt. We'll do an early preseason debut or something next year, brother.
There you go, Ron. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
No doubt.
Ron Slay. Yep, good dude. He's one thing I like about him, he kind of lays it out there for you. If he thinks it, he tells you, which is great. All right, coming up, we're going to switch. Florida plays Jacksonville in baseball. Their coach, Chris Hayes, will tell us about the Dolphins. By the way, we have that game live tonight here at 6:25. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency and sponsored this first hour by Quality Plumbing. When you need a quality plumber, rely on the same company Gainesville's trusted since 1984. Their name says it all. Back with more Sports Scene. Stay with us.
From the first four to the final four, the NCAA tournament lives on WRUF.
It's never fun being injured. And with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City. Being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
International Diamond Center's values are so compelling, it's not unusual to see people here that are not local.
Every day, we have people that drive an hour and a half, even 2 hours.
IDC owner Keith LeClaire.
People are willing to drive because they've heard it's not a typical jewelry store.
For example, did you know IDC has one of the largest selections of luxury pre-owned Rolexes in America?
You're going to want to come to IDC. It's worth the drive.
International Diamond Center in Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Gator fans, get ready to raise a glass for a perfect cause. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is teaming up with UF Gymnastics head coach Jenny Rowland to bring you 2 brand new limited time drinks. Feel the heat with the fiery flip or stick the landing with the perfect 10 margarita. And here's the best part. $2 from every drink goes straight to support the Gator NIL Fund. Sip, support, and celebrate Gator greatness. But hurry, these signature drinks are only available for a limited time at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, where Gators come to win. There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp today. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. The InventHelp databank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Get started today.
Call us for free information at 1-800-558-5497. Again, 1-800-558-5497.
Gator baseball plays here. WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Yep, and that guy, Cardozo, and this guy, Russell, will bring you the broadcast tonight here at 625, playing the team that is coached by my next guest, the Dolphins of Jacksonville. Head coach Chris Hayes joins us now. Chris, thanks again for doing this. Always appreciate you coming on here. Let's give a shout out here. You got a Gainesville kid, you got an Ocala kid, some local flavor. Tell us about those kids first.
And they're great. It's always great to be on here with you, Steve, and good to talk to you. Between Kate Hintz and J.J. Gardner, both of those guys are huge for our future. And Kate's been a part of our program for a couple of years and made a great impact over the last 2 years for us. But this year, unfortunately, he's hurt, and both of these young men are going to be sitting on the sidelines because J.J. is also going to he's going to be out for the rest of the season as well. So they both had season-ending injuries along with surgery to go with it, and so we're missing both of them, which is kind of a common theme for us and throughout the lineup. And it's been we're in a tough little stretch right now, and we've been battling through some injuries that, in college sports and athletics overall, you're going to have those. But, boy, we've been bit pretty good with them this year, and it's affected how we're performing.
Yeah, that's why I want you to give them a shout-out, because we won't be seeing them. It's unfortunate because, you want to see a team, at its best whenever they play, whoever they play. You mentioned it. It's been really an unusual year. Can you pinpoint anything as to why, or just one of those freak years where that's taken place?
I think it's really just one of those years. We've had a lot of different it's coming from a lot of different angles, and whether it's a back or an elbow or a shoulder, a hit by pitch or some things that you don't really forecast. You know it's going to happen. Injuries are going to happen, but you don't forecast them to come in the bunches that they have this year for us. And we've got seven guys that are just basically done for the year, and on a 34-man roster, that's going to hurt you. And we're always fighting a little bit uphill anyway, with our depth and to have 7 guys and a lot of those guys were going to be counted on. JJ, for instance, he's a freshman, but man, he was going to have a big role for us. And Cade Hentz played basically every day for the first 2 years he was here for us in the infield. So it gives somebody else an opportunity to step up, which is great, but not everybody's ready to take on that big load that they've got to fill. So, we'll continue to fight it and keep managing it. And I tell you what, man, we're going to show up and we're going to give them our best effort tonight.
Yeah, I just got to ask that, Chris. I mean, seeing you and the way your teams play over the years, despite the injuries, are you satisfied with the effort?
Yeah, the effort, yes, absolutely. I would love to play better, but the effort's been tremendous. I mean, I've got the guys in our program, and they love being here. They love what we are and how we go about our business, and and they've really done a good job of continuing to push and endure the adversity that we're going through right now. And they stay together, and we'll fight through this thing. But yeah, the effort's been great for our guys.
We could probably talk for 2 hours on the portal and what that's done to programs, but it hasn't made things easier for you. I mean, isn't that a fair statement to make?
No doubt, and it's the world we're in. We have to adapt. It's nothing, no matter how much, and we can talk about this at length for a long time, and have a really, really positive conversation about it. And it is the world we're in, and so we have to adapt. And we're not necessarily in a revenue situation here where we can, do that for our players, and we're going to provide them a really good experience and great opportunity to come on and compete at the Division I level. But it's not exactly an even playing field all the time for us. And it challenges us from a program standpoint because we really focus on development and the long play. We focus on these freshmen in and getting the experience to play and make mistakes and grow and get comfortable competing at the highest level and really growing into their bodies and who they are. And what we've experienced is we get a couple of years of that now, and then they end up leaving, because they've turned into pretty darn good players. And somebody else wants them, and they can do more for them in a lot of different ways that we just can't compete with. So it's been a challenge for us, and we've got to continue to adapt. It's until things change from a legislative standpoint, this is the world we're in, and we're going to keep working at it.
The mound tonight, plan there.
Kyle Powers is going to start for us. It'll be the first start of this year for him. He's been a guy that we've used out of the bullpen. With us, it's a short week for us because we play Stetson this weekend, and we're taking Easter off, so we moved the weekend series up. So we play actually Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
So that puts a challenge on this game because we've got to keep it short basically for everybody because we don't want to burn. We don't want to throw anybody too much tonight, and then we want to have them ready to throw this weekend. So you'll see a lot of different arms, but Kyle's going to go out there. And he's a guy who got off to a rough start for us, but he's really found a way to manage and get right back in the zone and do what he does well. And it's 87 to 90 fastball with a feel for a breaking ball and change. It's a mid slot left-hander that will challenge the hitters. And when he's in the zone, it can be very effective. And he's a guy that we really relied on as a freshman last year out of the pen. And he was reliable because he came in and no situation was too big for him and he could pound the zone, which is what we're looking for from him tonight. So he won't be out there too long, but he'll give us a good start.
All right. Well, Chris, I always appreciate you, man. Thank you for taking the time as always. We'll see you at the park. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks, Steve.
You got it, Chris. Chris Hayes, let me just tell you. First of all, he's one of my favorite coaches to interview. He's great to talk to shake his hand, and talk baseball with him. But he's also a realist. I mean, they've been, when you look at their numbers, they're not good. They've really struggled. And part of it is a talent drain. And part of it is, when you're a team like that, you can't afford to have a rash of injuries, and they've had them. Their team ERA is about almost 6. They hit 276, which is okay. And they're not a particularly good fielding team because they've had to move, people around. So it's been a tough year for them. And if you go and look at what they've done, but they'll compete. His teams always do. All right. Now, the rest of the day, it's us. So hopefully we'll hear from you. By the way, if you're tired of big banks that don't know your name, meet Galabank. It's Gainesville's only local bank. Locally owned and operated, over 350 years of combined experience, here to help neighbors, not just customers. And how about this? No call center, no appointment necessary, no sign-in sheets. Anybody can cash a check there at Galabank. No extra charge. They're at 7515 West University Avenue off Tower Road. They are a member of FDIC. All right. Call us up, 392-8255. You can email the International Diamond Center email, srussell@wruf.com. And you want to get a text in, our text line brought to you by B&D Electric, 352-325-3777. Remember, at BD Electric, reliable, professional service you can trust. You can schedule at bdelectric.com, and they will do a great job for you. Let me get to some emails here because I have a few of those. In the meantime, I'm just telling you, one of those days today. Daryl, I don't know if you bring this up. A survey sent out to season ticket holders. I just did, Daryl. The way it looks, season ticket holders will be paying big money for season tickets due to renovations to the stadium. There might be a point where longtime season ticket holders won't be able to go to games anymore because of money. The world we live in now in sports. I want to talk about that with you today because it's a price of doing business. What are your thoughts? Daryl's right. And again, we talked about this earlier where they did, send out to get input from Gator fans, ticket holders, etc. So I want to get your thoughts on that. Tomorrow, if all goes the way it should, Florida will play Stetson in softball in DeLand tomorrow and then host Mississippi State for the weekend. Mississippi State's softball coach will be with us tomorrow. And then we hope beginning either Mike Bianco from Ole Miss or one of the radio dudes to talk about Ole Miss, a team that just got swept by Mississippi State. And they got swept at Ole Miss. So, that wasn't the best thing in the world. And I might as well start today. Who's your pick to win the national championship in both men and women, if you want to go that far? Okay? So let's get something going here. By the way, in the SEC this week in baseball, there's one matchup of top 25 teams. Number 11, Auburn, at number 3, Georgia Tech. Everybody else, not so much. Little Rock is at Ole Miss. Georgia State's at Georgia. That's Florida's next SEC opponent after Ole Miss on the road. Kansas at Missouri. Austin Peay at Tennessee. Miami of Ohio at Kentucky. Wofford is at South Carolina. Arkansas is at Missouri State. Alabama's at Jacksonville State. Well, they're ranked in a poll, at least one. So, okay. Grambling's at Mississippi State. Oral Roberts at Oklahoma. Sam Houston at Texas A&M. Belmont will play Vanderbilt. Southern's at LSU. Texas State at Texas. We'll take a break, come back. More sports scene to come. You're listening on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Miranda Vargas. Florida baseball returns home today to face Jacksonville. The Gators rose to number 21 in D1 baseball's top 25 after a serious sweep against Arkansas this weekend. Sophomore Ethan Surowick hit a season-high 4 hits on Sunday's game, including a 5th-inning home run.
Single and a double already for him as he hits one the other way. This one's hit pretty well. Stewart going back to the track, to the wall. Bye-bye baseball. Back-to-back Oppo bombs for the Gators here as Lawson goes to the left, Surowick goes to the right.
First pitch is at 6:30 p.m. with our coverage starting at 6:25. In other news, Olivier Rioux has entered the transfer portal. The 7'9" center posted a heartfelt message on his Instagram page this morning, thanking Gator Nation for their support. While he is the tallest player in NCAA history, he totaled only 16 minutes of playing time this season.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
We sell more so you save more at the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. New Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra, $349 per month. New Chevy Colorado or GMC Canyon, $239 per month. Plus, we'll beat any price from the Villages to Lake City to Jacksonville and everywhere in between at the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC on North Main Street in the heart of Gator Country and at GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $84.99 due at signing, plus tax tag, title, and dock. All rebates and incentives to dealer may include loyalty, subject to lender approval. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Just after sunrise, the lake is glass.
No traffic, no noise, just you, a cup of coffee, and open water. That kind of peace isn't far away. With Radiant Credit Union's flexible boat financing, competitive rates, and quick approvals, you could be on the water sooner than you think. Make some waves with a boat loan at Radiant Credit Union. But hurry, our special rates only last until March 31st. Apply today at radiantcu.org. Federally insured by NCAA Equal Opportunity Lender.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Highs will be sitting in the mid to upper 80s across north central Florida today. Along the Nature Coast, you can expect them to be in the mid to upper 70s. A few pop-up showers are possible along the Nature Coast and could have a rumble of thunder with that as well. Not expecting anything severe except for potential lightning. Lows tonight will be sitting in the 60s. Rain chances decrease significantly tomorrow. From the WFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Audrey Shirley.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Don't forget, you can talk to us via YouTube questions. Charlie gets them to us, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union, where Coach Spurrier does his banking. Founded on the UF campus, serving our community for 90 years. Facebook Live questions, courtesy of Ruse Ogura State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. All right, let's go to our Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. Bernard is there. Bernard, hello.
Yes, the stadium situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of fans are upset about reduction on the seats. I think, everybody wants to be number one when you see this capacity of Tennessee and these places, you want to be up there. So when they come to you 3:30 on a Saturday, span your stadium, you got about 85,000, 90,000. That's one point. Another point is this, Steve. I come up to those games, and I park quite a distance. I walk to the stadium, then I have to go up to the third level, then go up to my seat. With this new stadium deal, will there be escalators in it?
Oh, I don't have the minutia of that yet. And I think from what I've been told, there is information out there that some would deem to be not accurate. Now, I do know this because Scott Strickland sat right across from me a few months ago and talked about this. They want to keep the capacity as close to what it is now as they can. And he has come out and said that. Now, can they do that and do what they want to do? I don't know, but I think they understand that, fans want to keep the seats they have. So I think they're working towards that.
Yes, Steve, please, definitely, if you're going to modernize the stadium, definitely escalate. Lastly, Steve, I didn't read the article. I saw the title in On 3 Sports by Andy Staples talking about, I think, age-old debate, stadium expansion or NIL. Steve, I think you've gone over this thing like a million times. Isn't that different parts of money, that the money that goes into the stadium expansion has nothing to do with NIL, or am I wrong?
Well, it's money. In other words, okay, I'm going to give you a fairy tale here because it's not going to happen. I'm rich, and I have a lot of money, Bernard. So I'm going to, if I have $20 million that I'm going to donate to UF, I can donate some of it to Florida Victorious. I can donate some of it to a stadium expansion. I can donate it to put my name on a stadium. So it doesn't really matter if it's different or not. It's still, you have to have green to do it.
Okay. All right. Well, I understand from what I hear, a lot of Gator fans, a lot of these big money boosters, the UF fans, for whatever reason, don't believe or don't support NIL. I guess minimum education, have a building in their name. So, hey, we stay in even if the seats go up, Steve, we see about how the economy is doing, and you go out on Friday and Saturday night and you can't get into a restaurant. Steve, Gator fans are still going to come to those games. on Saturday. They may call your show and complain about the price, but I do believe people are going to continue to support the Gators. You take care and have a great day, okay?
All right, thank you. Bernard, I don't disagree, but I know this for a fact, there are fans, long-time fans, that had to give up their tickets because they couldn't afford them. It's more and more corporate now. And that squeezes out most fans. It just does. I said most fans, a lot of fans. George, welcome to the show.
Steve, how are you?
Good.
Man, you hit a bullseye with this topic. I'll tell you, I got my survey into your email caller earlier that kind of brought this up, or at least initially heard it. I got my survey, and we have a little different situation. I thought you might be interested in here. We live about an hour and a half north of Atlanta.
Okay.
I've had season tickets for 40 years, and that's probably not as much as a lot of the other listeners you have, but it's a pretty significant amount of time. Now, we've had the sunshine seats, the north end zone, chairbacks, since 1990 when they first opened it up, 90 or 91, I can't remember which. But anyway, so I got my survey and was filling it out, and here it comes where they're saying, for my 4 tickets, it's going to be X amount, plus I'm going to have to be charged a $1,200 per seat fee, for the building fund. And I don't know if that's what it was called, but it's an extra added on. Steve, when that happens, and it won't be for this coming, we've already renewed for this year, but I really feel like this will be my last year. Because you drive that's a 2-night stay down in Gainesville. We usually stay up in Lake City. And so you add that to the cost of driving down the stay, and it's just pricing itself right out of existence. And we've been doing this for 40 years, and I'm one of those fans that your emailer referenced that's going to say, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, and that's the consequence of this, right?
Right.
Look, it's a two-edged sword, however you want to call it. If you're going to keep up with the Joneses, you have to raise money. And to do that, right, you're going to go more corporate. And if you are going to go, to the season ticket holder or to the average fan and say to that fan, to your point, I'm traveling, I'm in a hotel, those aren't cheap. Now you want me to pay a booster fee, plus my ticket prices went up. Yeah, that's going to be increasingly a detriment to the average fan who's going to have trouble supporting this. And look, I'm not blaming the University of Florida. It's University X. It's all over the place. It's not just Florida.
There is no blame to be spread, and I have no ill will towards my Gators. The problem is it's going the way of the NFL. It used to be that if you could get an NFL ticket, you could afford it, you could take your family. Now it's kind of like, even with the NFL, it's all corporate-based. If you don't have a gift from a vendor or a company, most folks just can't afford to go, and I'm afraid that's the way this is going to be. And then you wonder if you're going to lose that really spirited fan, that fan who's given his heart and soul for 40 years and his money, his paycheck, that just aren't there anymore. And if it somehow will affect the environment. But you got a bunch of callers, I'm sure. I just wanted to give you my little input there.
Appreciate it, George. Thank you for your call. That's going to be our first hour. Marshall, I'll get to you to start the second hour, I promise. This first hour brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Their name says it all. Back with more Sports Scene for Hour 2 as you listen on WRUF.
Every pitch of Gator baseball, all season long, right here on WRUF, your home for Gator sports.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com and let your brand shine.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
March is here. It's time to go big with a new 4K TV or projector from Electronics World, so you can catch every slam dunk, three-pointer, and buzzer beater. Electronics World has the best names in the business: LG, Samsung, and Sony, with Ultra HD TVs up to 100 inches. Or let the pros at EW design a system with a 4K projector and custom installed screen. Add a surround sound system so you can feel like you're at mid-court. Visit Electronics World in Gainesville today or online at electronicsworld.net.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by International Diamond Center, Domino's, Atlantic Roofing, Meldon Law, Los Linderos Tequila, Comfort Temp, Campus USA Credit Union, Pomodoro Cafe, Titan MRI and Imaging, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Miapa Latin Cafe, Radware, Fairlife Milk, Gator Trim Lights, Quality Plumbing, Doreen Wiebe Realtor Caldwell Banker, and the Head Beer Coach.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
Welcome into Hour 2 of Sports Scene for this Tuesday. Charlie is our producer. We're coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio. Full color systems, fully programmable lighting right from your home, right from your phone. You can make your home orange or blue if you want. I'm telling you, they do really great stuff. Find out more online, GatorTrimLight.com. And we are fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. The best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Quality Plumbing sponsoring the first hour of the show. Hour 2 sponsored in part by Domino's Pizza. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or those late night cravings. No one delivers like Domino's. Whether you're picking up or ordering delivery, it's fast, easy, and just a click away. You can go to www.gatordominoes.com. Call us up, talk some sports. Titan MRI Imaging phone line, 392-8255. International Diamond Center email, srussell@wruf.com. All of our guests, courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Marshall has been patiently waiting. Marshall, you're leading off. How are you?
Steve, I so appreciate you. Up until last night, I was very bitter over this whole thing with the stadium. I've had season tickets since the 70s, and we used to go with like 4 to 6 other couples, tailgate, go to some away games, and my wife brought me back to ground last night. She said, "Do you realize none of our friends are going anymore?" Well, yeah, now I think about it, it's been about 10 years since they all went. We're the only crazies that still think this is a great date to go drive from Jacksonville to Gainesville. And she said, "Maybe you just need to get over yourself, honey." And so I'm blessed to have a very intelligent and logical thinking wife. I'm no longer going to be bitter about what happened with the O-Dome, what's going to happen in the stadium. I'm going to just focus on let's enjoy what we still got. I've got tickets for this year. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. And if next year they haven't gone up on me or they haven't had all night games that I can't get to from Jacksonville, I'm going to enjoy what I got. So I just wanted to share that. I think there's probably a lot of folks in the same boat. We cannot bring back the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s again. It's a new world.
Well, you know what, Marshall? You have a very smart wife. She gave you great advice, as most wives do. And look, you're right. You know, being the age that I am and still being around students, teaching students all these years, they keep you young. But the only constant is change. And it is not going to be like when I went to school here. I can still lament it because squeezing out fans that have gone for years and years, you know, families have gone, fathers, grandsons, whatever, and to have corporate take it over, you know, that's not the greatest thing in the world, but you're right. The only constant is change.
There's one thing, though, that we can still say we're blessed to have. We can turn on WRUF at lunch and enjoy lunch with Steve. Now, when that's finally gone at some point in time, then I'm really going to get pissed off.
Well,
you take care, sir.
Marshall, thank you. I appreciate you saying that very much. Thank you. All right, let's get YouTube question here. YouTube questions courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. Scott, hate to see Ollie go. Probably not going to make the starting rotation anytime soon, if at all. Hope he gets to a team where he gets some playing time and watch him develop. Amen. Amen, Scott. And look, I said this earlier. I would imagine he had a meeting with Todd, and that was discussed. I would imagine because they have those after-season meetings all the time. CJ, is there any player in your memory that garnered such a following as Ollie because of his uniqueness rather than ability? That's a good question, CJ. I can't think of one, top of my head. Really hope he finds a place that fits him, as sometimes he spoke about feeling out of place on campus due to his notoriety. Well, whatever campus he goes to, he's going to get noticed. He can't escape that. All right, now we got a couple of texts here, and again, they're brought to you by B&D Electric. Mike, state of Louisiana has been crooked for a long time. Will Wade fits the environment perfectly, in my opinion. Then they just try to skate on Brian Kelly's buyout. Yes. From Steve, dollars keep racking up in regards to the stadium renovations. Can't gripe too much as a Northeast native because the experience of Gator football is special compared to Rutgers or anything in our region. However, my son's student tickets went up $100 from freshman to sophomore year. It's going to go up more this year. Feels like students get gouged on tuition and tickets for money to fund buyouts. There's no proven solution. I truly wish there was one. Charlie, that affect you? Yeah, he's shaking his head yes. Tim, I lived in the swamp when I was at Yon Hall. Special place to be for a long time. I answered the survey, although I agree we need improvements, new video boards, ADA compliance, wider seats. I don't support all the various club options, a restaurant, patio area, etc. The increase in ticket prices for a program that hasn't made a playoff appearance might be a deal breaker for most. I just heard Coach Summerall in his presser 10 minutes ago say he'd love to see an investment into the roster. He hopes the stadium stays as close to what it is as possible. Yeah, I mean, every coach is going to say, I need investment in my roster. But I also think, even though he's new, Tim, he understands the swamp. He understands the history here. Let's get to David here. David, hello.
Good afternoon, Steve. First, let me say that I think Arizona will win it all. They were my pick to beat Florida in the national championship, so I'll stick with Arizona. Talking about baseball, Steve, you know, I can remember when we lost that first game and there were a lot of hand-wringing. You know, then we got swept by Alabama, and then we go into Arkansas, and we sweep them at their place. That's baseball, Steve. I know you've coached baseball. You've played baseball. Baseball is a funny game. You can get hot, you know, win 5, 6 in a row, lose a couple maybe you shouldn't lose. I think the baseball team's going to be pretty good shape. Our pitching, if we can just, you know, be more consistent with throwing strikes, our hitting seems to be coming around, Steve. What do you think?
Well, look, baseball's a 56-game grind, and it really gets to be a grind now when you start SEC play. It's that way for everybody, and there are going to be peaks and valleys. Look what's happening in Baton Rouge. Look what's happening in Fayetteville, right? Look what's happening in Knoxville. You don't. It's year to year, and it changes again because of NIL and, you know, who goes to the draft and who doesn't, and then injury, you know, all of that. Florida, if I had to rate the 3 phases of the game in this order, I would say pitching, hitting, and defense in that order. Today, that could change in 2 weeks. The hitting is coming around. It's better. They've had some injuries here. You know, where does that go? But they've, you know, managed to weed through that. But right now, and think about this, their starting pitching has been, many thought, the strength. It's not been bad, but I don't think it's been as good as some thought it would be. But it's the bullpen and the depth of the bullpen that has been, I think, the difference.
Yeah, bullpen has been pretty much lights out, Steve.
Yes.
And you know, you were talking to the JU coach earlier, and that's really a sad situation because Jacksonville University has such a strong history of a good baseball program. But when you can't afford the NIL, and then on top of that, you get injuries, and a coach like that, you know, I mean, it's they're putting between a rock and a hard place with that. But you kind of have to feel for him. And the last thing, Steve, on Ollie, I wish that young man nothing but the best, but he was never going to be more than a novelty at Florida. He just can't move well enough to play in Todd's system. And but I hope he goes somewhere and he has a great career. Have a good one, Steve.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I think probably every Gator fan thinks that. And I do too. I just want him to go someplace and get some PT. Tampa Mike asked for Florida basketball. I have an inclination all the eligible starters will return. Outside shot, Houck may not. I think more than likely he will not return. Brian, give me UConn to win both ladies and men. I had UConn on my Final Four bracket now. They're the only reason I'm still in it to win. As for the tickets, I've been a season ticket holder for 25 years. Had the joy of taking my son with me to games since he was 2. He'll be turning 11 this year. While I hate what's going on with the upgrade, I find a way to pay the price, as these memories I'm having with him and the enjoyment are worth the price. And again, he said, sad to see Ollie leaving. A blast to see him when he did get a chance to play. And it was the right call. It opens up a roster spot for somebody to contribute and to make him, hopefully, you know, go someplace and play. International Diamond Center email, Art, we shouldn't be doing renovations at Ben Hill. Should not. Prove you have a winning football coach. Strickland's pricing out the common fan. He's not trustworthy enough for such a massive project. He's not one of us put new video boards in and call it a day. Enough search firm. I wouldn't go that far, Art. First of all, they got to become ADA compliant, and they haven't had to be. So whether you like it or whether you don't, or I like it or I don't, that's part of what this renovation is going to be. And think about it. If the only time you renovate is when you win, well then, don't they sort of go a little hand in hand? Can you remember discussions we used to have on this show about facilities? Remember that? Well, the football team needs a new facility because Georgia has one. No one, I mean 0 people talk facility now. Why? NIL. That's why. Right? But that used to be, and it wasn't that long ago, that was the big deal. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Bottom of the hour, my buddy Kevin Brockway is going to join us from the Gainesville Sun. We'll talk hoops and football. Meantime, love to hear from you as you listen in here and call us up on the Titan MRI Imaging phone line, International Diamond Center email, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio and fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
21 following a 3-game sweep against 4th-ranked Arkansas. Florida made a strong impact on the game at the plate with back-to-back home runs in the 5th inning from Lawson to Sarowick in Sunday's game.
A single and a double already for him. As he hits one the other way, this one's hit pretty well. Stewart going back to the track, to the wall, bye-bye baseball. Back-to-back Oppo bombs for the Gators here. As Lawson goes to the left, Sarowick goes to the right, and just like that, a 5-2 Gator lead. Sarowick's second homer of the weekend.
The Gators take on Jacksonville University tonight. First pitch is at 6:30 p.m. here at home. Moving to Florida softball, the Gators had a 1-2 series loss against 9th-ranked Arkansas this past weekend. Florida looks to bounce back in their game against Stetson University tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Stetson Softball Complex.
Hey folks, it's Steve Russell for my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. They've been in business for over 45 years. That in itself says a whole lot. Take a look around you when you drive. Take a look at the car in front of you, alongside of you. There's a really good chance it'll have a Southeast Car Agency tag, just like my vehicle does, and many vehicles before that have as well. When you go see them in person, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you to the good people at Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
No, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
WRUF, where Gator Nation comes alive. 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. We have, let me just say this about the renovations and the money and all of that. It is an absolute two-edged sword. And if there's ever an example of a two-edged sword, it's that. Here's why. If you think you have to keep up with the Joneses in terms of facility, money, stadium, all of that, it takes money to do it. And if you go get money from corporations, boosters, etc., which is what most people do, right? Most schools do. But there's also 90,000 butts in there. So guess what? You're paying. And a consequence of this is some people will get squeezed out. And they may have been ticket holders for a long time. International Diamond Center email, William, been saying this for years, so nothing new. What makes the swamp special is it's hot, sticky, and you're packed in like sardines. If you're looking for comfort, going to the game is not for you. William, my man, William's a very frequent emailer and a very knowledgeable emailer. You stole my thunder for tomorrow. But that's okay, William, because that's exactly what I'm going to bring up. Let me finish his email. You're much better off staying home. Fans have spoken. Even in a time of terrible on-field product, the place for the most part has been full. True. Stadium renovations are a mistake. However, the reality is they're going to do this come hell or high water. Life is about choices. I won't be buying season tickets. Tomorrow, that is going to be my question. How much do amenities really mean to you? Now, look, you have to do some things, ADA, right, that the law says you have to do. And we all know the width of those seats in there. Butts back then ain't what butts are now. Okay? Mean no disrespect to anybody. Okay? But come on. Okay? I think in newer stadiums the seat is wider. But how much does that mean to a fan who thinks like William does? So that's going to be one of my topics for tomorrow. All right, we got a text here, B&D Electric text from Woody. On top of the cost, the game experience isn't that great. Long commercial breaks, too many reviews, fan behavior, 16 inches allotted for each butt. Ridiculously priced concessions like $4 bottle of water makes it easier to stay home. Mike, I'm retired, had to resort to making payments. My family's not to the point where they can take them over. tickets since 82. This could be my last year, unless I hit the lottery. Yeah, I wouldn't plan on that. Jim from YouTube, and again, YouTube questions courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. You're right about UF not being the only one targeting premium fans. Maybe it's because everything's so expensive in the U.S. now. It's easier to sell $10 tickets at $1,000 each instead of $100 at $100 each. Other industries are doing the same thing. Affordability isn't what makes money right now because what's considered affordable keeps becoming less and less obtainable. AU Gator. In watching the women's college basketball, specifically South Carolina, what do you feel Coach Reese will have to do to grow pedigree to be at their level? Talent. Talent, AU Gator. Talent. No substitute for talent, right? And while we're on the subject, right, what do you have to get the talent? Money, 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 right? You got to have that. That's got to be part of the equation here. This is something even Carolyn Peck couldn't do here. Now, she was here, and I've said this many times. I was the radio guy for women's basketball when Coach came here. I thought she was the perfect hire. Had won a national championship, but just didn't work out, and sometimes it doesn't. Greg on Facebook. Facebook questions brought to you by Ruzogra State Farm. Scott hit the nail on the head earlier. I wish Ollie the best. UF needs every spot on the team to be ready to play, especially when refs call BS fouls. We need a backup plan. Truthfully, Ollie more of a project than a viable option at the big. Greg, I can tell you this. Officials are not perfect. And they are going to call fouls that you will not agree with, that I will not agree with. That's part of the game, however. But look, Florida is looking to revamp its roster, and we will see what happens based on, what decisions are made by other people. BB, I'll add one thing to the salary cap I'm in favor of that's needed to help brick up a potential loophole. If Billy Bob's Lamborghini dealership gives a player a car or leases a player a car for free for doing some token ads to get around NAIL salary cap restrictions, Billy Bob can go ahead and give him the car. But any such business contract has to include it's independent of the school, the players attending. The contract has to be for a minimum of 2 years. And the dollar value of such contracts could also be added to the total cap allowed for the school. Well, that's why they have capologists now. That's why they have general managers now. And that's why agents are involved in a lot of this, good, bad, wrong, or right. We'll take a break. My buddy Kevin Brockway from the Gainesville Sun is going to join us, talk a little football, hoops, etc. As you listen to Sports Scene coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator Sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
It's never fun being injured, and with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news, you don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away, and they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
The commitment from IDC to first responders is really extraordinary.
Veteran firefighter Johnny Hinton talks about International Diamond Center's ongoing support for our heroes in uniform.
IDC has helped us raise just massive amounts of money.
Johnny says in addition to corporate gifts to support charity fundraisers, IDC is there every day, helping first responders with an extra 15% discount on any purchase.
Again, thank you guys so much.
International Diamond Center at Celebration Point.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
The best conversations happen with Los Landeros tequila, like this recent conversation between 2 Gator legends.
Coach, you know what always impressed me? How you beat Florida State to win the 1996 national championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. 100% agave Los Landeros tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
Ready to dance? Right now on Hard Rock Bet, new customers get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets. And we'll keep you dancing all tourney with 2 profit boosts for every day of hoops. That's right, all customers can get a parlay profit boost and a live bet profit boost from now till they cut down the nets. Double winnings, daily dancing boosts, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Hey, it's Jeff Cardozo. Your only home for Gator Baseball is WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2. Your home for Gator Sports.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. Kevin Brockway from the Gainesville Sun will join me momentarily. But first, I want to tell you to make sure to check out our daily clip of the day on WRUF, Facebook, and YouTube at WRUF Home of the Gators, brought to you by our friends at Fairlife Milk. Let's get Greg, and then we'll get Brock to join us here. Hi, Greg.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for taking my call. Looking forward to Brockway. Hey, Steve, you know, I grew up here, and so we could go to the high school football games. You had to pay like $3, but I know firsthand from going there in the early 80s as a middle school kid, playing there on Friday nights when it was AstroTurf, that place, the amenities are awful. Amenities means comfort, enjoyment, easy accessibility. I actually looked it up before I called you. And all of these things we don't have. The concourses, and I know you've seen it, Steve, you're waiting in line for a hot dog and a Coke, and people are cutting through you, you're going, the opposite direction of you, standing in line. It's just ridiculous. And I understand some people want to have some, this number, like Tennessee, to have 100,000 people in the seats. And that's just ridiculous. People want to go there and be comfortable, and I get that, you're going to maybe have to move up some prices in order to pay for these things, and I understand that, with NIL, you're going to even need more money. But at the same time, if they put a winning project on the field, Steve, I would argue people will be – the last thing they'll be talking about is this. I mean, we were blessed to see a natty in basketball with Todd Golden. If Coach Sumrall can somehow bring back some winning ways, 4 out of the last 5 years we've had losing seasons, and now we're crying about, revamping the stadium. Let's stay focused. We need to win again. But the stadium does need it, Steve. I know you're local. You've seen it. I mean, it looks so 1970s in there, and I just think it's embarrassing when fans come here and see it. I mean, other local fans may say, I can't afford to go anymore, and I get that, but we're also blessed to be able to watch it on television. I remember if the stadium wasn't sold out, Steve, they would black out on television. You'd have a total blackout. In other words, they wanted to fill it in order before they televised the game. So we're truly blessed in a lot of ways. And if anybody at UF's listening, there's a lot of people that think that stadium needs to be revamped, the concessions, the seats. I'm 6'4", Steve. When I sat there on bench seats, I literally I could put my chin on my knees so I'm not sticking my knees in the person in front of me. And then the people that do have the luxury little seats that they put down for them, it even makes it worse if you're sitting behind that. So they need to do a lot of revamping, Steve, and sign me up for the side that whatever it takes, we need to do it. And love your show, Steve, and go Gators.
All right, Greg, thank you. On that note, by the way, I want to thank Domino's Pizza for sponsoring our second hour here. You can go to GatorDomino's.com and order yourself a terrific pizza. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. All of our guests, courtesy of Meldon Law, Kevin Brockway from the Gainesville Sun. My buddy joins us here, and long-suffering Mets fan like me and long-suffering Jets fan like me. Although the Mets are at least out to a decent start here. But anyway, welcome. The discussion today, as you've heard maybe, has been about, the stadium and the discussion about the renovation, and that is going to happen. I don't think there's any – that's going to happen. But, I wonder what the end result is going to be here, Kevin, and how many fans will be satisfied with it and how many fans are going to be squeezed out.
Yeah, I think that certainly, a lot of impassioned, calls on both sides, Steve. I was listening on the drive back to my house, and, it's not an easy solution, but I do know that, Scott Strickland feels like it needs to happen. It needs to be done. There needs to be some modernization of the stadium. And certainly there's been, some discussion about the capacity and whether it'll reduce by 5,000. David Whitley, my former colleague, did a great column on about a year and a half ago where he followed around a disabled fan in terms of, the concourses and everything. And Scott Strickland was talking a lot about even being ADA compliant with this renovation as well, widening the concourses. It is a very tough place to see a game. Certainly, and a lot of fans are kind of squeezed in there like sardines. So maybe it's time, and if it can generate more revenue, I think that that's a positive thing. But certainly, I think also I can understand a lot of longtime season ticket holders certainly being very frustrated about the potential of being squeezed out or moved to different seats.
You've seen a lot of spring practice, Kevin. What are your thoughts on what you've seen so far?
Well, John Summerall talked a lot about physicality today and feeling like it still needs to improve. I think it's gotten better for sure, but I do think that there's probably a ways to go. And you see Gerald Chapman on the sled and still getting on these guys, strike harder, right? So it's a different mindset, and I think it's going to be that's the biggest thing, Steve, because I think blocking and tackling and some of those things that we saw last year, a lot of people focused on Billy Napier's offense, and that's well and good. But, the ability to block and tackle and be physical in the SEC really can overcome a lot of things. And I think John Summerall realizes that. I think that's kind of the culture he wants to build. And it's, I would say, a work in progress in that area. It's not quite there yet. It's getting there. But I think that's the biggest sea change. And when you talk to a lot of players, too, it's them getting adjusted to it as well.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about that. And on both lines of scrimmage, I think Florida was not as good, strong, physical, whatever word you want to use, as a lot of the teams in our league. Who's impressed you, on the hoof, Kevin, that you've watched during the spring?
Well, a guy that's been, Brendan Bett has, been a pretty amazing story in terms of a guy who obviously, had his issue last year in the USF game, and we just talked to him now. And, the night and day transformation of him, not just as a contributor, but as a leader on the defense right now. That has been tremendous to see. And LJ McCray is also another guy that's improving, and he's a guy with, we all know, a 5-star coming at loads of potential. So I think there's a lot of positive signs on the defensive line. Emmanuel Obadiah is starting to flash too. So there's some potential there up front in the front seven. Miles Graham came back and did some work in an orange jersey today, which was encouraging to see. And then offensively, Eric Singleton is a guy I think that this staff has a lot of high hopes for in terms of his speed and his ability and the different things they can do with him in the run game. Micah Mays, another guy, wide receiver, Bailey Stockton, a lot of these new receivers have come in, and they're going to push Vernell Brown and Dallas Wilson a little bit. And, Dallas Wilson's been obviously in and out with his foot issue, but it seems like you've got a little depth there that if, this thing lingers with Dallas Wilson, at least you're going to have some other options at wide receiver there. And, Jaden Baugh is always as consistent. Duke Clark is playing really well behind him. And then you have Evan Pryor. So I think they're pretty good in the running back room. And then we'll see the quarterback position. Some days Aaron Philo looks better than Trammell. Some days Trammell looks better than Philo. So I think that's been very back and forth up to this point.
And I've heard this, and I don't know if you have as well. I mean, I'm pretty confident that battle is going to continue into the summer. Would you agree?
Yes, I definitely would. And I think that that's something that, I just think because they're so neck and neck ability-wise and the way they throw the football, I think that's a good thing. Competition, push you guys through OTAs, get them out there throwing, get them out there working, certainly developing that chemistry. Because we saw last year when a quarterback wasn't throwing with his receivers consistently, how that season turned in. So, you need to have them working. You need to have them continuing to, gain that synergy and those reps with those receivers and keep them hungry and keep them motivated through fall camp.
Kevin Brockway from the Gainesville Sun, covering Gator football, Gator basketball too, and he joins us here on the program. Let's switch to hoops for a second. Look, a lot of people were disappointed at the year Florida had. I get it, but it's hard to repeat. And now you're starting to see guys who are – isn't it funny, Brock, that they're re-signing? Whoever thought we'd see the day when a college dude would re-sign with a school, but that's what's happening here. Any sense – because we've not heard from, the big guys yet, any sense where you think that's going to go?
I think Houck, it's going to be really hard to convince him to stay because his projection is still louder. Now, look, there's a lot of freshmen that I think will be, top 5 to top 6 to top 7, but I still think Houck will be in that 10 to 15 range late lottery to where, he's going to make the guaranteed money. And the guaranteed money for a pick like that in the NBA is $15 million over 3 years, so before the fourth-year team option. Now, Condon and Chinyelu, I think, could be a little bit different depending on, what they're hearing. I know Alex, told me 50-50, but he thought he was going to be able to work his way up to being a lottery pick with a good NCAA tournament run. Obviously, that didn't happen. That ended. And I think Ruben being a borderline first, second-round pick, it might behoove of him if he can get a good NIL deal to come back for senior year. So I think, possibly one, maybe two front court guys. And if that's the case, I think Florida will be in the mix for the SEC championship and a high seed again next year.
For the guys that have come back and re-signed, depending on who leaves, there are going to be some holes to fill. But I'm pretty confident this staff knows talent. Should anybody be worried? Let's say they all left. The worst case scenario happened, right? I still think this staff with its analytics and what it does, I think most fans should feel pretty confident about what they would do. Do you agree?
I agree, and they already have plan Bs, which include, you hear things about guys overseas. I think there's a Serbian kid there. So, and that's the thing. Todd has been very savvy recruiting the portal. He's been very savvy recruiting internationally. They do have one freshman coming in, Jones Lay, who's a 7-footer. Obviously, they lost Ollie today, which who was a fan favorite, but probably wasn't going to develop into maybe what they hoped. But I think for the most part, they'll, the way the portal is now, Steve, you can, retool. But, I mean, I think obviously the strength of the team, the experience will shift to the backcourt a little bit.
Yes.
And, obviously with Urban Cloudshire coming back with Boogie. And I'm a lot higher on Isaiah Brown than some people. I know he got a bad rap for the missed free throw. Listen, people miss free throws in pressure situations. People forget Denzel Aberdeen missed a free throw last year, and Florida got the defensive stop. That was the difference, right? So, I think Isaiah Brown, when you look at his athleticism, if you can refine his skill level a little bit, I think he can be a scoring guard in the SEC. Now, and his brother, AJ, obviously, if he's healthy next year, was a pretty good three-point shooter at Ohio University, too. So I think they've got good depth in the backcourt. Maybe add another piece there, but the front court will need to be addressed if they lose Hal Condon and Chinyelu.
Last thing, I got an email here from Brad, and this is right up our alley here. He said, he says, wondering what your thoughts are on the ABS system. As a longtime Rays fan, I've already seen a big benefit to correcting a bad call. Quick and effective, I'm for it. Time to put the umpires a little more in the spotlight on some bad calls. I don't know if you're going to put them in the spotlight about a bad call. And there's already been a manager thrown out arguing over ABS, which is, I didn't think it would come that soon, but it did. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, poor C.B. Buckner, right? He
yes.
he was challenged more than anyone. And, hey, we're old enough also to remember that Eric Gregg strike zone in the San Francisco Marlins. You know what I mean? It was like, so how many inches outside in that game? Yeah, no, it's, I think the technology is a good thing, Steve, I think, because, as longtime baseball fans, I mean, how many times do we groan about, a close pitch that didn't, go the way of our favorite Metropolitans, say, or something, and you can correct it. So I think the technology is a good thing in moderation. It was kind of funny, too, because I watched a Netflix thing on Barry Bonds, though, and he mentioned that I think it was a 5-0 game when a Yankee player challenged, and he said, back in our day 20 years ago, he would have gotten a fastball to the chin for doing something like that. So I think you got to use it within reason in a big spot, maybe make it more of a challenge type thing, but I do think it's good for the game to use the technology. It's, it's everywhere now, and there's certainly, more at stake in these games, so it's a positive in my book.
I'm trying to enjoy the season because I think a lockout's coming. It's almost inevitable. And I'm trying not to think about that. I'm trying to watch baseball as a baseball fan and enjoy it. But, I mean, do you see any way that doesn't happen?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Steve, I think there's a growing fear that this is going to be a lockout and a contentious lockout. And certainly some of the upheaval, with Tony Clark obviously having to resign for, I think the Players Union, there's a little bit of flux there, right? Some new leadership. So we're going to see how that all plays out. But I think the owners are pretty steadfast. I mean, I think they want some kind of competitive balance. And, I think you're going to see probably a lot of centralizing, too, with national TV, which, for us as Mets fans, I know we love, Keith Hernandez, Gary Cohen, and Ron Darling and stuff. But I think the owners also feel like nationalization of TV is going to lead to more revenue. So we'll see how that all plays out. And certainly, but yeah, I'm trying to enjoy every game. It was nice to see Devin Williams get a no-drama save last night, right?
Yes, wasn't that nice?
We didn't have to worry about Edwin Diaz walking 2 or 3 guys and us biting our fingernails. So yeah, it's a good start for the Mets, but it's a long way to go, as we all know.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen now. We've already started to see it. Diaz is going to save like 90 games in L.A. because he's not with the Mets. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
You know that's going to happen. Okay.
Exactly. Hey, they always disappoint us, Steve. You know that.
Yes. Where can people see your work?
Gatorsports.com, Gainesville.com, at Kevin Brockway G1. Steve, is always great to catch up with you and the folks out in Gainesville.
We'll have you back, my friend. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
You got it. Knows his stuff. A, and B, he's as nice a guy as he sounds. Brock's a really cool guy. I've known him for a long time. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up today as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Miranda Vargas. Gators baseball faces off against Jacksonville tonight at Condren Family Ballpark. Florida cleaned up this weekend, sweeping their 3-game series against number 4 Arkansas. Sophomore Jackson Barberry was a standout player, collecting 13 strikeouts last week. His dominant performance earned him the title of Co-SEC Player of the Week. First pitch is at 6:30 p.m. with coverage here starting at 6:25. In basketball news, Ruben Chinyelu was named as NABC's Defensive Player of the Year. He is the first player to earn this title in program history. The junior center finished the season with 36 blocks and averaged 11.2 rebounds, which helped him earn the title of SEC Defensive Player of the Year. Adding on to the awards list, Gators Gymnastics received a pile of honors as they work ahead of the NCAA Regional Championships in Tempe. 4 Gators gymnasts collected 9 All-American titles from the WGCA. Selena Harris-Miranda stands tall on the all-around first team.
He's got the 1966 Heisman Trophy, the 1996 National Championship Trophy, and 7 SEC trophies. Now he's got a new trophy, a can of beer. Steve Spurrier was the head ball coach. Now you can call him the head beer coach. Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager is available in 16-ounce cans at Gator games and stores all across Gainesville. You can also get it in the can or on draft at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Refreshing in all kinds of weather, Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager, a legend in a can.
Attention local and regional CDL-A drivers in the North Florida area. Pritchett Trucking is currently looking for local and regional drivers. Are you looking for a driver-friendly environment? Pritchett Trucking offers more home time, great pay, and great benefits, including health insurance and paid time off. And they also offer a quarterly performance and safety program, plus a sign-on bonus. Pritchett Trucking's regional drivers are home weekends and local drivers are home daily. If you're at least 23 years old and want a rewarding career with great pay, don't let the opportunity pass you by. Apply online at PritchettTrucking.com.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
We sell more so you save more at the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. New Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra, $349 per month. New Chevy Colorado or GMC Canyon, $239 per month. Plus, we'll beat any price from the Villages to Lake City to Jacksonville and everywhere in between at the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC on North Main Street in the heart of Gator Country and at GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $84.99 due at signing, plus tax tag, title, and dock. All rebates and incentives to dealer may include loyalty, subject to later approval. Together, let's drive.
March is here. It's time to go big with a new 4K TV or projector from Electronics World, so you can catch every slam dunk, three-pointer, and buzzer beater. Electronics World has the best names in the business: LG, Samsung, and Sony, with Ultra HD TVs up to 100 inches. Or let the pros at EW design a system with a 4K projector and custom installed screen. Add a surround sound system so you can feel like you're at mid-court. Visit Electronics World in Gainesville today or online at electronicsworld.net.
Hey Gainesville, tired of big banks that don't know your name? Meet Galabank. Locally owned, locally operated. With over 350 years of combined experience, we're here to help our neighbors, not just customers. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets, and anyone can cash a check on us. No extra charge. Local bank, local people. Galabank. Find us at 7515 West University Avenue off Tower Road. Galabank. Member FDIC.
In the heart of Gator Country, some things are built to last. Traditions, family, and real wood furniture. At Wood U Furniture, we believe furniture should be more than something you replace every few years. It should be something you pass down, built to last generations. Choose beautifully finished pieces or ready-to-finish furniture you can make your own. Wood U Furniture. Real wood, real quality, right here in our community. Come visit our new showroom on Main Street, just north of our previous location, or online at woodugainesville.com.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Many thanks to Domino's Pizza for sponsoring this hour of the show. And tomorrow, if everything goes the way we think it's going to go, Florida plays Mississippi State in softball this weekend. Hope to have Mississippi State softball coach live with us tomorrow. And then later in the week, Joe Healy from D1 Baseball will join us to talk, obviously, college baseball. So working on some other guests as well. We're in that time of the year. Tomorrow, how important are stadium renovations to you? If you're a fan of Gator football and you go in there, there are some people who just love the fact it's old. It's our place, right? But I'll say this. As venerable as Wrigley Field is, as Fenway Park is, haven't they been renovated? And the answer is yes. How about the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field? Well, guess what? That's been renovated too. I'm not saying it has to be to the scope of what somebody thinks it is, but I'm just curious what Gator Nation thinks when it comes to that. And there are some things, ADA compliance, is compliancy a word? Anyway, that's going to happen. It has to, by law, right? And the other things, some people don't like the fact there's long lines, the restrooms are old, concession, whatever, okay? Some people think, well, that's our place. I'd rather have that and be able to afford my ticket. So these are the kinds of things that get bounced around, and we will talk about that tomorrow. But today, many thanks to Ron Slay from the SEC Network, Talking Hoops, Chris Hayes, the baseball coach at Jacksonville. Don't forget, Gators and JU tonight right here at 6:25. And then Kevin Brockway, my buddy from the Gainesville Sun. Thanks to Charlie for producing the show today. As always, we thank you for consuming it and making time out of your busy day to do it. Do not move your radio dial. Kevin Winter and the Sports Lab gang next. I'll see you tomorrow at noon. Enjoy the rest of this gorgeous day. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground, won't be turned around, and I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground.
From the first four to the Final Four, the NCAA tournament lives on WRUF.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their meatball sub with fries or onion rings, topped with the house sauce and lots of melted mozzarella.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
P.F. Chang's Gainesville is serving up incredible lunch specials starting at just $11.99. So if you're in the mood for Asian fusion cuisine, stop in for lunch today. And don't miss happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. with $5.99 beers, $6.99 wines, and $8.99 cocktails. Make your next lunch or afternoon unwind unforgettable at P.F. Chang's Gainesville, your destination for lunch and happy hour.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. You've heard his voice for more than 2 decades.
Out of the shotgun, pistol formation, pulls it back. Here comes the ball.